It's the first week of 2023, and that means that a lot of people are setting either New Year's resolutions or goals for the year. Personally, I do not set resolutions, I set goals. In this video, I want to go over a basic strategy for goal setting and also share some of my own goals for 2023. Up until a couple years ago, I had never even set goals for the year. I kind of just had never thought of doing it. But now that I do, it's a lot of fun to see how many of them I can achieve, and it also pushes me to actually work towards achieving those things. If you're brand new to setting goals, here are a few tips that can help you get into the mindset to start writing down some goals. First, pick a few categories of goals that you want to set. I chose personal goals, wellness goals, educational goals, career goals, social goals, and financial goals. That might sound like a lot, but I've been doing it for a couple years and I honestly enjoy having a lot of goals to try and achieve. But if seems overwhelming to you, then it's totally fine if you want to just choose 2 or 3. The next tip is to try and create SMART goals. Specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time-bound. It's not enough to just say, I want to work out more in 2023, or I want to eat healthier, or I want to get more sleep. Like, that's all well and good, but what does that actually mean? So a more SMART goal would be to say, I want to work out 2 times a week, or I want to eat healthy 1 meal a day, or I want to get 8 hours of sleep per night. Those are specific, measurable, probably attainable, probably realistic, but they're not time-bound. Not all of your goals need to be time-bound. But for example, you could say, I want to be able to run a 5K by July. Once you've written down a few goals in each category, the next step is to break them out into little steps. So for example, if your goal is to eat 1 healthy meal per day, maybe a small step you can take is to buy more veggies the next time you go grocery shopping. Or buy a magnetic fridge meal planner and write down that 1 meal per day that you're going to have and exactly what you're going to have so that you don't find yourself just looking through the cupboards, looking in the fridge to see what you can find to eat. So choose a few categories, write down a few SMART goals for each category, and then break down those goals into little steps that you can take. I'd like to share a few of my own goals just as examples and also to keep myself accountable. So the first category of goals I have is personal goals. I actually only have 1 goal in this category, and that is to find a place to grow my dahlias. If you were around for last year's goals, I had the goal of growing dahlias, which I did do, and they were successful, and I loved them so much. But since I moved out to Michigan and I am now living in an apartment, I don't exactly have a place to grow 30 or 40 large flower plants. So it is a goal for this year to find some place that I can grow them. The second category of goals is wellness goals. I have 3 goals in this category. Work out 3 times per week, run a 5K easily by October 1st, and juice at least once a month. The working out 3 times a week is probably going to be pretty easy if I stay consistent with my morning routine during the work week. So I'm not terribly concerned about being able to do that one. Running a 5K easily by October 1st might be a little more difficult because I have run like 3 times in the last 6 months. But that is something that I also want to get back into, especially once the weather gets a little warmer. But even now, I'd like to try and run every couple of weeks just to keep that conditioning and start building my cardio back up. I'd like to juice at least once a month just because I honestly feel so much better when I have juice first thing in the morning. It just gives me so many nutrients that I'm not gonna eat 3 carrots and 2 stalks of celery and all the stuff that goes into a bottle of juice. So just having that boost of nutrients first thing in the morning, I've noticed a difference. My third category is educational goals. I have 4 goals in this category. I'm recycling last year's goal of reading 12 books by December 31, but I reframed it. You might notice I changed the wording a little bit because last year it was read 1 book per month. And I know I qualified that by saying that doesn't mean that I have to finish 1 book each month. It just means 12 books in the year. So this year I decided to word it a little differently and just say read 12 books by December 31st. And last year I totally did not get that goal. I think I read 7. So this year I definitely want to be more intentional about actually reading books. And the bonus is if I read a book per month, then I also have a book review for you all. It's a win-win. The other 3 goals in this category are learn how to solve a Rubik's Cube, learn how to play the piano by ear and read notes. This is basically just practicing because I kind of already know, but I just need to do it more. And learn how to produce my own music because I do have a keyboard. It is a MIDI keyboard and I really want to produce my own music. So gotta just do that. Jumping right off of that, in career goals, my very first goal is to release an original song by December 31st. You might remember that last year I had a goal of releasing an original song by my birthday, but that did not happen. So this year I want to make it happen and I want to release at least one original song in the year. I also want to get back into photography, so my next goal is to do 10 paid photo shoots by December 31. And I also want to keep going with my graphic design, so I have the goal to complete 5 paid graphic design projects by December 31. My next goal in this category is to reach 500 subscribers on YouTube by December 31st. This honestly is pretty achievable. If I continue growing at the rate that I'm currently growing at and have for the last 3 months or so, I will hit that. And I could very well hit 1,000. Fingers crossed. I have been completely blown away by how much growth my channel has experienced in the last few months, and I'm so grateful for all of you who have joined this journey here, and I hope you are enjoying the content that you see so far. And most of you have joined because of the Mountain Is You book review, so I definitely want to make sure that I keep serving you guys book reviews because that's why you're here. My last goal in my career goals category is to have 500 followers by December 31st. I kind of just threw this one in there. There's not really anything that I will do to get towards that goal. I mean, I already post once or twice a week and try to be somewhat active on my stories. So I'm not really going to change anything about my Instagram strategy, but I decided to just throw that in there. My next category of goals is social goals, and I'm not going to share all the goals that are in there, but I do have one major goal. Take a trip with my girls from back home in the summer. I miss my friends back home so much, and I really want to do a trip to the coast, the West Coast, with all my girls from home during July or August when the weather is beautiful and we can go swimming in the ocean and just to have a great time together. So I'm really looking forward to doing that. My last category of goals is financial goals, and I'm just going to share a couple. I know this might sound elementary, but I want to spend less than I make at least 10 months out of the year. I know there are certain months when I might have unexpected expenses where I spend more than I make within that month, but I want to just make sure that overall I'm really paying attention to how much I'm spending and keeping it within my income. It's really easy to live right at your income level, but I think it's really important to cultivate the habit of living within your means. Hand in hand with that, I have a couple of goals for saving money. I would like to have $1,000 set aside in an emergency fund that I just don't touch, just in case. Because you never know when you might have a bad month at work, or you might have unexpected expenses, and I really want to just have that safety buffer. I also would like to be making at least $100 per month in passive income by December 31st. This is things like my Amazon affiliate links, YouTube if I happen to get monetized, things like that where I've already put in the work and it just makes income in the background. Oh, and also any music that I release will also be passive income. Those are all the goals that I'm going to share. I would love to hear what some of your goals are for 2023, so feel free to comment down below. And if you have any topics or video ideas, those are always welcome as well. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you right back here next week.